All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and I'm at it again with another live, So I went on earlier today talking about some things, but this time we're going to be talking about the simp culture. That's what I'm going to be talking about, kind of change it up again. We're going to be talking about, because I'm a passport bro myself. Kind of mentioned before as well. So I'm just going to treat this as another video while things are slow right now. I'm out here working and things, but in the meantime, though, I'm gonna go ahead and rap to you though, and hopefully, but depending on the participation, if not, then I'll just treat it like a video. So got a few things to say, regards to this simp that we're living in the simp culture. Now, for some people, by now you know what a simp is, right? A simp is someone who approval seeks, look for female validation, kisses her ass, frustrated chump. This is what we used to call it back in the pickup artist days. We used to call it an AFC, which means average frustrated chump. And these are the guys that, by being nice, and don't get me wrong, you're supposed to be nice to people, but in modern day society, nice doesn't cut it. Being nice, and I've been there myself, gentlemen. I've been nice to women. Now I don't go around and being just a total a-hole, but I do have some asshole tendencies that I have. Thank you for the like, I appreciate it. And things, and that's what really gets the race, because it lets her know that you're not a pushover. You know what I mean? But I got some things that I've been wanting to say about this topic and stuff like that. Like our thumbnails are getting a lot better, right? You know what I'm saying? That's funny. But yeah, man, I wanted to talk about this. Shouts out to, before we get started, I'm sure we'll do shouts out to Omega. Shouts out to Joe Mama, better known as John Paddock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sherry Lady, Sherry Lady. Yeah, and then who else we have? Dan the Corn Man, Barbecue Roadkill. He was on here earlier as well too, man. Shout out to Barbecue Roadkill. Let me see. We have 1000 RR. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he feels this stuff. A lot of us are passport bros. Omega as well. We're passport bros, and I'm gonna get in contact with you, Omega, man. I still haven't forgot, man. Man, I'm behind the damn 8 ball, man. I gotta come up with 650 for this brakes on my other car, man. Damn, man. Let a friend of mine, let her drive the car, and then what ended up happening is that the caliber's locked up, man. 650, man. Oof. But at any event, I don't want to talk about that. Welcome to the chat, man. We're going to be really talking about a very, very important topic today, which is the simp culture, man. We are living in the simp culture. 1000 RR. Man, I got a 2007 Prius 1000 RR, and it's like it needed the calibers. The caliber locked up on the passenger side, man, and I couldn't even get the car into drive because it wouldn't disengage. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, man, such is life. Such is life, man. But at any event, yeah, fellas. So we talking about a very important topic, and I'm gonna tell you, man, how bad it is, man. When we think about the OnlyFans, oh man, Omega 1000 we think about the OnlyFans, man. Woo, man. I'm just really, I'm not about. It's not about me being shocked, gentlemen. Nuh-uh. It's amazing that I would have never ever thought that women from average and up, they can get on the social media. They ain't really got to get on OnlyFans. They can get on here. I've seen it, gentlemen. I've seen it. That's why I say, man, I'm just tripping. Oh man, I'm tripping out. Let me tell you why I'm tripping out. Because when I've been on. but way before I had way before I started streaming, right? I've been in the space for a long time since 2010, right? I've been on and visited a lot of channels, and sometimes I do. But it's amazing to me with the women on there, because a lot of them ain't really talking about nothing. But you can tell that most of them have this like entitlement type of attitude and behavior. 1000RR says, I can't believe how much money those women make. Yeah, I'm telling you, RR, it's amazing how much money these women make on OnlyFans, right? Not only that, I mean, even here on social media with the Yahoo, I'm sorry, with YouTube, because a lot of them, here I am, I'm struggling. Not that I really care. I don't care about the YouTube thing because I got Cash App, right? But I'm saying watch hours and all this other stuff. But for a simp, and I've seen it many a times. These guys simp for being a moderator. They simp on here for these women. They simp promising them to the for the moon and everything, and it changed the whole dating game in the Western world. And this is one of the main reasons why the passport bros been effective as a countermeasure to this type of stuff. Because when we really look at it, though, as a black man too, I don't know about for you guys, but for some of the brothers that I have seen and I have picked up in my car, we have had the same conversation, and it's sad. I mean, damn near 60-70% of the brothers they have the same conversation about the women, right? And as a black man, we got a very small dating pool. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Our dating pool, gentlemen, is very, very small. I mean, because you could maybe pick up a little bit, but when you really think about it, because most of the women, think about it, 70% of black women alone are single with children. So that means that statistically, you have a high probability of dating I'm saying just for sisters. This ain't no knock on the sisters, but I'm just saying we have a high probability of being with a black woman with children by another man, and we know as black men especially how dangerous and how it's a thankless job as well. So where does that leave us? And you can see where the simping cats, they're doing it, and it's like, they get on these social media things, OnlyFans, and they give, and it's amazing. I seen this one chick, right, and this was just regular YouTube, man. I mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention it again. This one, I'm not gonna say her on channel because I don't want to dox her out, but she was on there. This was like a couple of weeks ago. And this guy, I guess he's like one of her followers, right? 1000R says, women are like parking spots. The good ones are taken and the rest are handicapped. I know that's right, 1000RR, man. It's so true, man. Bro, it's so true, man. But, so I was on the channel. I was scrolling through, and I was wondering what's with all the ruckus. The guys on here, they just simping. This one dude gave her $500 on her YouTube, right? On her cash donation on the YouTube channel, right? Man, I couldn't believe it, man. I said, wow. She didn't have to take no clothes off. She didn't have to, do no BJs, none of this stuff, man. She didn't have to show her puss. She didn't have to show her tits. She didn't have to do any of that stuff. She collected $500. The guy cashed out twice. He gave her $250 and then another $250. And I'm not like, I'm saying I don't count people's pockets when they get donations, but this guy here, I ain't gonna doctor him out. $500, man, and I ain't kidding. And they have like these high numbers, man. They get these absorbent amount of likes. I never seen nothing like this before in my life. I said to myself, this is the reason I'm so thankful that I got a passport, and I'm so thankful that I'm doing something about it, man. Because hanging around here, it's it's no reward for it. Being cool, being nice. What you gonna be, another one of these ass kissing simps or whatever? So this is why I have the approach with women. Before, when I was a simp, yeah, I dated, but they running shit, right? This time, since I'm not a simp anymore, and I know how it go, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is simply this, you know, I ain't gonna have a woman running over me, talking about she the boss and all this other bullshit. All that, the old me died. I left that alone, man, and ever since then, and like I said, I don't feel bad about being single, gentlemen, because I understand if it has to be at my terms, as far as, because if I'm paying, it's got to be at my terms. I can't be paying and then it's on her terms. That don't make no sense. So this is the reason why, right? Because again, gentlemen, I seen this stuff, man. I said, man, I got to make a live about this, man, because it, to me, it was so surreal, gentlemen. It was so surreal. I never, she did. I'm just had the realization. This is one of the main reasons why the women had this entitlement. It just hit me finally. I thought I really understood, but when I saw that money come down there and she'd have to do nothing, and she just laughing and playing with him, teasing him. You know how women do. They talk really hee hee yeah yeah yeah, knowing that she don't mean it. It's like the biggest fool on the damn planet, you know? Because I'm telling you guys, I said, damn, how can you compete with that? How can it's like OnlyFans, right? You're just looking. I mean, all these losers on here kissing their ass. Oh man, and I finally get it. This is the reason why the dating world is dead. Most of the people out there that's doing it, they're simps. Let's keep it real. They kissing these women's ass wholesale too. Now a lot of them ain't shit, but the point, and I pick them up. You know what I'm saying? No judgment. I'm just saying. When they get out of the bar and shit, it's the same old questions and shit like that. She's all dialed up. She didn't have to pay for no drink. Some simp gonna buy her a drink. She could bat her eyes, look at any direction or whatever. So they get these attention whores, man. And the majority of them, they go into where these spaces where they get this fake validation. Knowing that, because all the guys want to fuck. We got testosterone, man. We got millions of sperm cells, right? And shit, I mean, this is how men are. This is how we are. We look at women, part of it, we look at them and look at their anatomy. Let's not kid ourselves, gentlemen. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So where I'm trying to get to the far as with the simps, where are you getting the benefit? Where are you benefiting being her friend, her little girlfriend, kissing her ass? I know a good woman right now. She's talking about, yeah, I gotta have a village. I'm building up a village where I want these men to help me out. Man, I'm gonna tell you guys, this is real. This is a real story. Somebody I actually know. I'm not gonna mention her name. She'll never watch my stuff anyway. That's why I can mention this story. And she's an older chick, man. Man, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Check this out. Let me tell y'all the story real quick, right? And she's older, man. She's about 58, right? So she's white, and you could tell she was really nice looking back then. A little age caught up with her. But guys still want to fuck. I mean, excuse my French, but they still want to, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep it real, right? So I'm going to tell you a story. So, this shit is out cold, man. So, she get hit on black guys, white guys, Arab guys, right? I mean, that's just how it go, right? She don't want to be in a relationship. She just wants somebody to help her out. What she wants to be able to have somebody to co-sign. She looking for somebody with an 850 credit score, man. Can you believe this? Somebody that she don't even know from a can of paint to put their name on the line for her ass, right? Man, I kid you not, man. I said, how the hell you gonna expect for somebody to do some stuff like this? But it's crazy. She is totally delusional. See, she thinks that, and then the thing about it, she can be, with women, man, especially when they don't have a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? She would rather be out here in the street than to be somebody's girlfriend, having a nice warm home out the cold. That's why I say things that women do is totally the lack of logic, man. They just irrational, emotional creatures. And they just make these stupid, effed up type of decisions with no thought whatsoever, man. The more logic I try to explain to her, the more she resists. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, gentlemen. It doesn't make any sense to me. How in the hell can you expect for somebody with an 850 credit score to co-sign for you? You don't know this person from a can of paint. And the guys hit on her. Oh no, I'm not interested in that. You know how these women play the game or whatever, but they rather have everybody is in the friend zone, man. Now I'm not attracted to her. I'm not attracted to no older women. She don't have no children. In case of y'all want to know, she never been married. She had the opportunity to be married many times over. She even effed up a relationship with a guy that had a lot of money because she don't have to be out here like this. You see how this shit don't make no sense? This ish don't make no sense, man. And there's many of them. My friend's sister is like this. She sees life the same way. Men is nothing but a renewable source when it comes down to money. You know what I'm saying? It's a big numbers game to women because most of the men are simping anyway. Let's just be real. I don't see a whole lot of strength with men today. I see a whole bunch of simps, and especially when they don't have a father in their life, it's even worse. Thus, look at the black community. May I have to go any further? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so this is basically what it is, gentlemen. And I said to myself, man, this is really, really, really bad. I'm not trying to rain doom and gloom. I'm just stating, like, with the women, the social media thing, that's the reason why, man. I mean, who's out there on the street, really? I mean, they're up there, they still up there in the, the adult, entertainment, they still doing that. I have picked many of them up once they get out, from work, 2:30 a.m., taking them to the crib. You also have to watch some simps like that. Remember that movie, Players Club, man, with Bernie Mac? Yeah. What's his name? Dollar Bill. Yeah, I always love that movie, man. You know what I'm saying? But at any event, when they come out of there, man, you get some simp guys like that one brother with the glasses, the nerdy dude, that he was really that's like stalking her and stuff. You got some guys like that, man, when they be coming out the strip club. Remember he said, I done put all this money on you? This is the mentality of some of them, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad, too. I hate to see. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. They ride around, but yeah. Other than that, man, I hate to see men act like this. I said, man, don't you know? You can go in other parts of the world. That's what I'm about to do. Shit. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I pay for this car and get this car fixed, gentlemen, my next move is going to be over there, overseas, man. I'm telling you, man. I got a couple of places I'm going to be going, man. I just spoke to a brother about a week ago, I'm sorry. He said that he went over there to Dominican Republic, man. He was over there in Santo Domingos, right over there. I done heard a lot of stuff, man. I listened to Roland the Traveler. You know what I'm saying? I like his stuff. He got great content. You know what I'm saying? One of these days I meet up with that brother when I go over there. But like I said though, I'm not mad at the brothers though. I'm not really interested in going to San Sua, but I'm gonna go to Santo Domingo. He told me the difference between the two. If you're looking for maybe like a long-term girlfriend or a wife, you may want to go visit Santo Domingos. You ain't got to worry about a whole lot of, and all this other stuff, man. But San Sua, that's just a playground, as you already know, and Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for the other thing though, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but at any event, going back on this other thing in the sim culture, gentlemen. So as I study, advance over even more and more and more, we are in a very, very, very serious situation where the men are losing. We are losing on the marriage thing. We are losing on what is it? The alimony stuff, you know, the child support stuff. Some of the brothers can't even travel because they owe in arrears on child support. Come on, guys, man, you gotta stop showing off with your, they'll come right downtown and do this fuck shit, man. Come on, ain't nobody, this is the simp. See, that's simping. All this with the cars. This going to Chris Rock said it best, right? They doing it all for the you know what ussy. That's what they're doing it for, man. They buy hot cars for who? It ain't for themselves. It's for women. Let's keep it real, right? They're doing all this show off stuff, and the women ain't even checking because they could go on any of these social media things and get some money or some attention. And we know that money and attention is the biggest currency that these attention grabbing what's want anyway. How you gonna? What's gonna top that? Right? There's already a lack of men going up in the nightclubs and stuff. That's why the nightclubs are shutting down. You do realize this. And I used to be a big nightclub. Man, I used to club, man, shit. Tell me, man, I used to go up in the clubs by myself. If I didn't have nobody to roll with me, I should roll up in the club, man. I sure did. Yep, with that, my pickup artist days and all the rest of that stuff, I sure did. I was about that life. Tell me why I wouldn't go up in there today, man. It's horrible today, man. Shoot, it's worse. You watching a bunch of women dancing all up, grinding all up on each other and everything like that, still getting free drinks. There's only the guys that got money for real, status or whatever like that walk out with the girl or whatever like that. It ain't your ass. That's for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's worse now, man. I remember, man. Remember back in the days when we were like going out clubbing. For some of you guys that's old enough to remember, man. I remember my Canadian days, man. Oh man, in the '90s, shit. I wasn't over there in Detroit in the hood of Mega. I was out there in Canada. I was all up in Windsor and Toronto, man. I mean, shoot. I was out here dating women. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I was about that life, man. I really was, man. That's why I say a lot of my stories haven't been like heartache and pain like some of these brothers that I be because what I'm saying, I didn't go in the military, but I did the next best thing. My ass rolled out of the country, man, and I ain't never looked back. Yeah, I ain't never looked back. And I had a buddy of mine that's in the Marines told me. But going back to this thing here with the simps, man, the simping is out of control. And let's just face it, she's gonna have more than one simp anyway. It don't matter if she's black, white, Asian, or Spanish, Indian, whatever. I mean, it's just how it goes. If she's in the Western world, man, hey man, it is what it is, man. I'm just here to say. I'm just here to say. These women going out here to the club, all dialed, all up, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Because let's say if I was a rich guy, had some money, like had some money for real, I still wouldn't have to go up in the club. I wouldn't have to go up in the club to be with these old broke ass bottom feeders. You know, I'm talking about these old gold digging ass whores, right? 304s. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't even monetized. I don't even give a fuck. I ain't monetized anyway. You can't take my hand. You can't take what you don't have. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it, though, man. Man, oh man, $500, bro. I mean, the guy, man, and he's one of her loyal followers on YouTube. Not even OnlyFans. Some of the guys said, man, you should get your OnlyFans. Shit, if somebody dropping $500 now, man, I don't see no guys getting no that kind of money. Men don't get that money, man. Not that kind of money. Yeah, loyal clients. Yeah, man. You're right, dropping deuces. You don't even get that kind of money. Shit. I mean, I ain't mad at the hustle. Trust me, I respect the hustle. But men, we ain't got nothing. I don't see us. I mean, is it me? Do you really think in the simping culture today, are we winning or are we losing? Because it don't even pay to be a simp. When you're not a simp, you already know where you stand when you're not a simp. But to be a simp, to say, "Oh, thank you, oh, sweetie," like she did to him, where can you go with that? I done gave her $500. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't even stop thinking about that. She said, "Why are you bringing up this all the time?" I'm saying, "Hey, get your money." But I'm just saying, it's the surreal. It's so surreal, though, gentlemen. I mean, in this day and time, economy like this, and then he dropping $500 to. I mean, I said I had a comment for a dry penis. I can't say I can't confirm that if it's a dry penis. Let's just say let's just say that oh man, guys, I said, man, we done. We done. We done. You on the keyboard, stroking and typing. Oh man, we are done as men, man. And this is how women look at us. Like we ain't nothing but some suckers and a joke. I see the smiling face. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's funny though, man. I mean, and don't make. I mean, you gotta make light of it. Cause I ain't gonna be like these other brothers, bad as hell. I mean, that was the whole thing with the red pill, man, and stuff like that. I'm just trying to put a little bit more humor in it because the thing about it, we have an alternative to. You don't have to get out here and sell. There's an alternative. Get your passport. That's the only thing. And just because you're on child support, gentlemen, some of you, it ain't the end of the world. If you can ever get caught up, you can still get your passport. It's that all this myth about you can't get your passport once you're on the child support, you're in the rear and the Owen. No, if you get caught up, you can still get your passport and roll out. That's a beautiful thing. They got all kind of programs around over there where you can get your child support reduced as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. You as men, we got rights too, man. You know what I'm saying? We got rights as well too, and we shouldn't have to be up under a woman's, uh, be up under her damn foot or whatever you want to call it, kissing her ass on an everyday basis. We don't have to do it. But I'm saying we in the climate of the simping culture right now, gentlemen. I mean, and the brothers though, man, I don't see the brothers don't have a large dating pool. And I'm gonna tell you, man, some of you guys are probably in different cities. New York is fucked up. Let's just go on to say it for what it really is. And I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I wasn't raised there, but I was born there. I usually visit. But New York, I got relatives out there too, right? Brooklyn and all the rest of it. But it's fucked up for a black man, man. Especially for a black man, it's fucked up. You ain't got nothing coming as a black man in New York. And that's real. Other ethnic groups, they can go a little further. But as a black man, shit, it's even worse, man. It's the truth. Maryland, Boston, over there is not no better. Most of those cities, Philadelphia, been there too. I drove live in Philly. It ain't no better, man. It ain't no better. In fact, if you look at all of the East Coast big major cities, man, ain't no brothers, man. No, man. Mm-mm. Them women are rough, especially in New York and Philadelphia. They are rough, man. Hard to talk to, man. And they gonna tell you flat out, you ain't got this and that. You ain't got no motion. You ain't got no drip. What's the word that they say for the young generation? It ain't happening, man. It's true. It ain't happening. This is why I keep encouraging brothers to get their passports. You're looking at about 160 with tax, probably 165, something like that, $165. Therefore, you can get your passport. You can have it within a few months, and that's going to give you, let's say, options for real, because you'll be one step away to visiting another country. Get out your comfort zone, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying, and go out here and do it. The other brothers are doing it. You don't need to have a rat pack full of brothers, man. I've seen brothers just if they can't find anybody to roll out, they just roll out by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And just have a great time. Get out there and get to exploring, man. Because what we're gonna do? Save it over here? Shit. Look at the black men now, man. Are we winning or are we losing? We got guys that's 30, 40, 50 years old that ain't never been married. Now, I know. You know how many guys I know that don't even have no children? That one brother I picked up, he ain't never been married, never had no children. And we have to understand why is that? Because we have a effed up culture with the simping thing, and it's predicated on a lot of money and status. And that's exactly what it is, man. They're not trying to see us like that, talking about, oh, good man. What type of women talk that type of stuff? Were they up in their late 40s, 50s? Linebackers, defensive linemen. I'm just saying though, man. Is that is that hot? No, man. Hecky no, man. I couldn't do it. Now I admit, when I was in my younger days, in my 20s, I rolled some heavyweights, but they wasn't outrageously big. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it real. Dropping deuces for the LOL. I'm just keeping it real though, man. But I knew some cats that I hung out with. This one guy, his name was Allen, man, and he was a big chubby chaser, man. I ain't mad at him though, but he liked him, man. And he was an average guy. He wasn't no big guy, wasn't no fat guy, nothing like that. But he was a chubby chaser, man. And y'all know yourself. Some of y'all are and that's okay. If because big women need love too, How Tracy Morgan said, yeah, big women need love too, And it's true, Big women need love too. They keep you warm at night. They're gonna make sure you eat. Cause they love food and shit, I don't know no big woman in my life that don't know how to cook. Shoot. She said, come on over here, baby. I got you covered, baby. You know, shoot. She'll hook something up, man. There'll be a few things up in that damn refrigerator, man. Shit, cold cuts, whatever. She'll put some shit together, man. You know what I'm saying? The brothers is like, shit, I'm in love just off of that. At least I ain't got to starve. Oh, man. I've been saying, though, man. So, and there's a lot of big beautiful women though, man. They ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? There's some ones out there, what I'm saying, they just need some love too. They're just gonna have children. You know how that go. A lot of them just gonna be having children though. You know that stuff gonna start costing, man. I appreciate I appreciate you guys coming in tonight talking about this stuff, man. But I'm just saying, man, I got more stories than that, man. Like I said, I ain't afraid to admit some things, right? With some of the big women, because like I said before, I was there. I was out dating them, a few of them. I remember one time, I was winging for a good friend of mine. He had the nice hot girl, and she had her big friend, And I was trying to get down on my own thing. Before the before the last call at the bar, you can't be with the one you love. You gotta love the one you with. That's what it was with my ass, boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit. I wasn't always a big guy before. I was, average size. You know how that go. So that's what ended up happening, man. Oh man, guys. I'm gonna tell you, man. I got a lot of stories on things when I was, especially at the club, man. Shit. But yeah, man. And it wasn't always doom and gloom, man. It was fun times back in the '90s. Are you kidding me? Man, it was fun times. '90s and early 2000s, man. You know. But I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Another story. Now, remember, for some of y'all probably don't know or remember. Some of you guys that do. If you are a baby boomer, Um, no, I would say Generation X for sure. Generation X and maybe Millennial. You guys remember with Yahoo? Yahoo used to have a Yahoo chat. God is my witness, man. I was on Yahoo chat when the chat rooms was hot. This is way before social media. Man, I was about that life, man. I was on that social media. I met a lot of women on there, man. I'm talking about Yahoo chat. And this was again, gentlemen. I'm talking about back in, let's say, like it was like the late '90s, early 2000s, and I was meeting women on the internet, and I did too. I met a lot of them off the internet too. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna hold it up. You know what I'm saying? And I remember this one time, and and like I said, though, I had some AFC, average frustrated chump, simping tendencies back in those days, So when I lived in Phoenix, man, I was out there. Now, actually, I lived in Mesa because I lived in Phoenix. Then I lived in Mesa, and I remember I met this one girl on here, man, and she's actually. I asked her background, and she said she was Armenian, right? So, so what ended up happening is simply this. So and come to find out, she lived right up the street from me, man. She had children. You know, when you go in these women's homes, man, these women's houses are filthy and a mess, right? I'm talking about trash everywhere, dishes in the sink. She just online, and she just wanted to, you know what, man. I went over there and sure enough handled my business, man. I went over there, man, because she was just up the street from me, man. And and the thing about with the internet, you can really put yourself in harm's way, man. I could have been. I mean, I you know what I'm saying. So that's what I was doing. I was doing that, man. Back in the when Yahoo had the chat, they had Yahoo dating. I didn't really pay for dating apps very much. I played with plenty of the fish. I met a couple of girls off there. It was bad, man. Oh shit! I remember I met this one sister on there, man. Talking about she looked like Maxine off of Living Single, man. I got there and looking at her ass, talking about Maxine. Shit, man, wasn't no Maxine. What he said? Janet Jackson looking like Freddie Jackson. Well, her ass. I mean, yeah, man. It wasn't, man. Whoo, man. Plenty of fish or plenty of man, I'm just saying, man. So I remember that phase though, man. I got rid of my plenty of fish account, man. Yeah, and then it got worse though, cause it went from meeting girls now, man. It's like I said, these women, it's just all validation now, man. It's even hard to even date now. What they doing on Facebook, I see people doing that. Everybody in somebody's DMs and stuff, Just ask Shaquille O'Neal. I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? They get into then they DMs and stuff, hitting them up. Simps and all, man. The women be blasting them out though too, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. This ain't what you want, man. So, and I haven't. Mr. Last time I've been on a date, honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the last time I honestly been on a date was 2000. No, wait a minute, 2019. That was the last time I've been on a date. Seriously, you know what I'm saying? I remember meeting her, and she was a white girl. She had a little weight on her, but she was cute, blonde and shit. We went out, and I just told her I couldn't do it. As far as being in a relationship with her, cause you already know, man. It's got to be more there, And I already know what that would have been like. I told her too, flat out. I turned it down, man. I said, because I said I'm actually looking for somebody, and you got to know how to cook. And you don't. I mean, I told her right there. You ain't used to taking care of no man. You used to be in what you think is a relationship, but there's things that I'm gonna require from a woman if we're gonna be together, especially when we put my money on it. And if you don't know how to cook, that's a deal breaker. Because as men, we know what that means. That means that I'm going to have to get out here and have to buy for extra, and I'm not trying to do that. What's the point of being in a relationship? And some of these men are in those type of relationships like that. I refuse to do it. So yeah, so the simping thing though, man, it is way out of control. It's way out of control, man. You see it in like every ethnic culture doing it. It's way out of control, man. Yeah, so yeah, kind of went drink some water, went down the wrong way. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming up here tonight, man, and things like that. But yeah, I know YouTube and stuff. They get funny with their algorithms, if you know what I'm talking about. Because I know they probably mad at my ass for some of the things that I've been posting and saying. So I wouldn't be surprised about it though, man. It is what it is. I think it's called being shadow ban. How you gonna shadow ban me? And I ain't got no record breaking numbers. I'm not pulling down no Charleston White or no Kevin Samuels types of views like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. But man, it's just one of those things, man. It's like it's just getting worse. And like I said before, yeah. So it's getting worse. So like I said before, you got to excuse me. You got to have a contingency plan. You got to have an exit strategy, right? So when things are not going in the direction, and I seen the stuff coming a long time ago. I saw this coming 10 years ago. To be really honest, it's gotten really bad now today, and things like that. That's why I'm not even I'm not even sad about being single, because you can be single and not be alone. I'm not like the guy that's out here alone, because, like I said, being single, having my freedom, I'm able to do things in my life instead of being in a bad relationship. Because you're behind the eight ball. You're already, and right now, these we already know. On the woman behalf, they look at the men once again as a renewable resource. That's all it is. As soon as you run out of your resources, she's going to monkey branch over to the next guy and the next guy, just like my friend I was talking to you all about. And that's just how it is. So, man, with them, they're hardwired like that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You got to be with a provider. They're always out here. A man got to provide for me. Well, really, they should be providing for themselves, but they don't have to provide for themselves. They can always be with a man, right? That's doing better than she is. The average black man is doing better than the average woman on average. Even with these ones they want to call a baddie, because if you were to take away the guys and the access, they have access to some of these guys' money and wealth. You take that away, they're nothing, right? And that's exactly what it is. Because I see the average men doing way better than the average women. They out here going to work. You know why? Because we have to be. We don't get no rewards just being at home and all the rest of this stuff. We don't get any of those type of rewards. But women can do that. This is a double standard in society, and we understand it. Because if men do the things that women do, they would call it a deadbeat. You know what? But women, they don't never call a woman deadbeat. She could be at home with kids and living with her mama, and that's totally acceptable. She has all type of opportunities with career works and WIC and all the rest of these programs and stuff like that. Welfare. It was a time when she was able to sit up her on her. You know what? Now it's 2 years and she got to go out here and work, which I'm happy about that. But you see what I'm saying? It was always double standards before with them. And we'll never win on that argument anyway, because you still. I mean, this is the thing with Kevin Samuels. He was over there when Kevin Samuels was alive. Man, he was kicking. He was kicking butt, boy. He was cleaning their clocks, man. Man, he was smoking, man, smoking with the statistics. I mean, verbal debates. Kevin Samuels, hands down, man. He was like the champion to the black men, man. This guy here was a kung fu master with this stuff, you know. And I'm just being real, man. I mean, a lot of things he was saying was absolute correct. But you know, we live in a society that you shouldn't talk to women that way. You shouldn't address women that way. It was like a unmentionable rule for a long time. Kevin was one of the first. I think it was Tommy Sotomayor before him. But when these brothers started going against the grains and telling it like it is, telling the truth about the fuckery that women do, that it changed the whole dynamics, man. This guy became a legend, and it's just too bad that he just didn't live long enough to live off the fruit of his labor, man. Unfortunately, you know, that's just how things go. But other than that, man, yeah, the simping thing, man. You know, he told you he was a simp. We grew up in the simp culture. If any of you guys been around in the 80s and the 90s, it was a big simp culture. Look at all the stuff in the late 80s. You had Keith Sweat and all the rest of them, right? And don't get me wrong, R&B artists, you know, I'm a big fan of Keith Sweat, but what if you listen to that music today, it would appear that it was on some simping stuff. They used to call him begging Keith Sweat. I liked his music, but that's what he was known for, you know. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. He was, and it was a few others, man. A lot of those R&B songs and everything like that. Baby, I'm begging, begging. You know, with Jodeci, I'm begging. You know what I'm saying? It was in the lyrics. I'm begging. You know, we can pull up all these lyrics, and I'm a big R&B fan. You know, with the groups in the '90s, Intro out of Detroit. You had Shy, Silk, and they were jamming. But doing that stuff today, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, yeah, it got worse today though, gentlemen or gentleman. It got worse today. So, you know, so those are things I'll be talking about as well, man. There's no reward today being a simp at all, because nowadays being a simp, meaning for men to be willing to live on his hands and knees in a so-called relationship or just trying to date her. Because she's going to let you know up front, you ain't got no motion, right? You ain't got no drip. You know, it ain't happening, man. Because she said she going to get her nails did, her hair did, right? And that's just the icing on the that's just the topping on the iceberg right there. There's some other things though too. And then she gonna bring up my ex, you know what gave it to me. And like I said, these are more of the reasons for more men should be getting their passport, especially the brothers. We practically come from a culture, or we don't even have community anymore. This is how bad it is. For black men, we don't even have a community. Excuse me. This is how bad it is. It ain't getting no better in America for right now. It's getting worse. And this is why you should go ahead and get your passports. Because when I put that photo up there with that brother, and that's the look of many brothers, man. Sad in the face, just beaten down by life. You know what I'm saying? Going through something. Look at the brother pain in his eyes, man. I put that photo up there for a reason. Pain in his eyes, child support, alimony, you name it. Right? The magistrate don't care how you get the money as long as you get the money. We know it's a racket anyway. All that shit, child friend of the court, all that shit, child, what's they call that, family court, all that shit is a racket, man. All of it. All of it is a racket, man. So that's the thing about it. So the only alternative to the simping, the counter to the simp culture is to get your passport. You ain't got no other choice. Because if you want to endure being disrespected, being ignored, you know what I'm saying, being laughed at, and all this other stuff, being ridiculed, You ain't got no choice but to go ahead on and get your passport, man. Because if you can get your passport, and there's countries out there that they are. I mean, there's countries out there, man, that the dating is a lot easier. Especially these countries, man, that really the economy really is nowhere near like ours. Our money go a long way in these other countries, man. I'm just here to tell you. This is a counter to the simp culture. We don't have to sit up here as men, especially black men. You ain't got to sit up here and have to, simp. Those Asian men. Let me tell you something about the Chinese men over there. Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of Chinese women, man, they different, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, that Western mindset, that cancer, it's all in China and in Korea, man. They ain't lying, man. They got tattoos. I've seen a lot more Chinese women walking around here with tattoos and shit. They got blonde hair and stuff. I mean, they look like a Western girl out of somewhere either in America or Europe. But she living in China like this. But you know what it is, gentlemen? They get our social media. They emulate what the women behave and act like here. They got the sassiness, sassy mouth, rude. They don't. And I'm gonna tell you this though too. What is it called? Leftover cake. They call it leftover women or leftover wedding cake or whatever. Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. Shit. Over there, you got to have minimum $100,000 and up, 150,000 and up, because to date a Chinese woman, it ain't an easy thing in China unless you go in the countryside. But in the city, shit, that ain't happening. I'm talking about in China. You know what I'm saying? And this is what it means. Their expectations in China is far worse than Western women here in America, because you are expected to have the house already. Anybody that's Chinese that come in here know what I'm talking about. I got a friend of mine that's Chinese. He ain't even married. He'll say, I cannot meet their expectations. And he's telling the truth. I ain't mad at him. You know, it ain't easy being Chinese. Shit. You are expected minimum at least $150,000. And you expected to have a savings account to have something save up, right? Because they want to look at your savings, the parents. Oh man, we ain't even got to the parents. Chinese culture? Oh, modern day Chinese culture? Shit. Man, you have to be at a career, pay a very good money, 850 credit score, credit cards up to wazoo, with low interest, with no balances on them, having a beautiful big ass house, you know what I'm saying? Status in the community and everything. Because if you don't have that, trying to date them, man, it's a wrap. It ain't gonna happen. And then ain't me being negative. It's me being, because I know the culture. I hung around with my friend for 25 years. You don't think I know anything about the Chinese culture? 25 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and when he was running all this stuff down to me a long time ago, and I started seeing it. This is one of the main reasons that you see um, even Chinese men are passport bros, whether y'all know it. Korean guys too. They got their passports, and I ain't even mentioned about Korea. Shit, them women in Korea ain't trying to marry no damn man over there, man. They don't want to have no children. You know, they number one when it comes down to plastic surgery. Shit, all they want to do is walk around here with these hourglass shapes. They get a lot of work done. Bigger breasts. You know what I'm saying? Shaving their bones down in their face so it could look more slimmer, so they could be the objectivity of beauty and everything. So, because in Korea, their parents even save up money for them. By the time they get 18, they go out there and get plastic surgery. Am I wrong or am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? It's true, because The beauty expectations in Korea is far worse than in China. Korea is like number one, I do believe, when it comes down to plastic surgery. So the expectation is way heavy over there, man. You have to be, you know what I'm saying? Because in Korea, looks is everything. If you're fat, you're too black, too fat, and ugly, it ain't gonna happen. Not in Korea, shit. That's why I tell a lot of brothers, don't waste your time going to Korea. It'd be a big waste of time, unless if you look like something for real. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna happen for this brother. So that's why I stay out of Korea, right? Keeping it real. Korea ain't something that you want. You know what I mean? But at any event, yeah, they Korean men, they got to go look elsewhere because they can't date Korean women. You know how difficult it is to date Korean women? I'm talking about in Korea. And we know in the United States it ain't too far behind because most of them just date white guys. So for y'all got a fetish or want to date Asian women, there's certain groups of people that could do it in America, but some of us ain't one of them. I'm going to be honest with you. But this is why Korean men, right? They go elsewhere. They go in other countries, Philippines, Thailand. They go to these other places to be able to date or look for a marriage because they can't find it over there in their country like that. You know what I mean? Keeping it real because of the Western influence that has spread like cancer, man, in these other countries. Because I'm seeing Chinese women with tattoos and blonde hair and shit. You know, and they over there in China. I said, shit. You know, you may be able to find some Chinese women in mainland China that where Western world really haven't penetrated very much. But outside of that, man, in the bigger cities, it's a wrap. Shit, like being in America, but on steroids. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what you want. You know what I mean? That ain't what you want. So yeah, so that's the thing about that, though, gentlemen, man. It's that the world is changing, and I can't say that it's changing for the better because what's one thing I can respect with some of these men in these other countries, they're not simping out. They just said, well, before I simp, I got a passport. I'll go to some of these other countries, and that's what the Chinese men are doing. They marrying Filipino women and you know, what else? Vietnamese women, Thai women. You know what I'm saying? You can go over there to Laos. If you really like Asian women, Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, all these other places, you can go to them places, man. In those places, you could go further. Our money will go further, and you'll have more respect and a better time than going to China, going to Korea, going to Japan, because you're gonna be expected to have something going in them countries. See, when we look at it, um, when you look at Japan, China, Korea, those are the white. I call those the white agents of society over there, right? And then the black, what I consider like you got white Asians, and I don't mean to be saying this to be disrespectful. I'm saying according to the social hierarchy, right? You have Japanese, Korean, Chinese. They are considered like the white of Asia. Now, the black of Asia, when you look at Thai, Filipino, Vietnamese, Cambodia, and all the rest of them, right? Laotia, Laotians and stuff. You start looking at all of them as like the blacks of Asia. You see, if that makes any sense, right? So you got the white of Asia, and then you got the browner or black of Asia. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how they go. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, because some of those countries that I mentioned, they don't have like a strong ass economy. You know, some of them are still like what they consider third world. Keep it real. You know what I mean? You know, this is first world problems that we're dealing with. They're still in the third world, right? So when we start looking at it, that's where we are. First world, third world, right? In America, we have the career, right? You know, you make your money, but we have a large amount of simps right now here in America. There's more simps now than I've ever seen before in my life. It's amazing. Either these guys did not get the memo about the passport thing, or they just don't care. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think it's too late when it come down to America like that, man. As there's some things will have to change drastically, like the laws. Because other than that, you're gonna set yourself up for failure, though. But in other countries, we can win. That's what I'm talking about. Me personally, I don't believe in no win scenarios. I'm very optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I don't believe in no win scenarios, gentlemen. I believe that we can always win. Even as black men, I think we always can win. Just because things look a little bleak and gloom doesn't necessarily mean game over, throw in the towel. Because as I said before, there's Asian men that's passport bros. Just you may not hear that but they are. You got a friend of mine right now. You know, he's an American citizen now, but he's originally from China. He know they can't do nothing with Chinese women over there. They own women. They can't do anything with their women over there. Their women are westernized. They gone. Ones in the big cities. That ain't what you want. Walking around seeing the Chinese women walking around with tattoos and stuff. Now, Japanese women, and I know Omega knows this. See, there's a thing called the Yakuza, right? It's a Japanese uh got Japanese mobsters over there, right? They have the tattoos, right, all over. But in the Japanese society culture, when they see a tattoo on somebody, it's basically like a bad taboo thing, right? It's very taboo. So this is why you don't see Asian, especially Japanese women with tattoos, because it's considered taboo when they think of the yakuza. You can't even go into a Japanese bathhouse if you have a tattoo. They're not allowed because it reminds you straight with yakuza, right? Not making this up; it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So they in their society they frown on tattoos. This is why you don't see. And me personally, I don't like tattoos on my women at all. Some of you guys don't mind or don't care. I think I can't stand it, man. Black, white, or whatever, man. I cannot stand a beautiful woman wearing a tattoo. I can't. It just my eyes can't get past the damn tattoo. You know, and they got these old stupid tattoos, not just on their backside, round on their breast area and things like that, shoulder. You know, it's the little ones too that really bothers me too, because if they want to put on an evening dress, you're looking at that tattoo on the back of her shoulder. It's just, ooh, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I don't like it at all, man. I don't like tattoos on a woman. Period. Many women, they can't have no tattoo. Cannot have the tattoos, and that's one of my pet peeve sticklers too. I do not like tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Don't like them. It just make them look trashy. It sends the message that she's all done up and run up. She's easy to get, and I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. My biggest critic, even in the South America areas, because in their culture too, they wear tattoos a lot. It's very rare for me to find a Latin women that don't have a tattoo. I can't stand tattoos on women. That's why I'm a little hesitant, because I'm saying to myself, I go over there, because I'm going to see them. I see them on YouTube, man. They got the tattoo on their breasts all out. You know how Latino women, they dress very sexy, everything sexy, sexy. I don't want to see a tattoo, though. You know what I'm saying? That's my pet peeve, man. Damn. It's like you got a beautiful work of art and you graffiti it. That's what it reminds me of when they do a tattoo. And I explain that to them. It's like having a Mona Lisa, then I got to spray paint and put something on it. You don't take a masterpiece and desecrate it like that. And that's what they be doing. Now, I know some of the brothers and some of the guys don't care about that. I do. I can't stand a tattoo on a woman. Period. Can't do it. I can't roll it. I can't rock it. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. It ain't gonna. It will be. It's not gonna be something that I'm gonna stick around for. No. And I tell them, no, you got a tattoo. What's wrong with the tattoo? Nope, you got the tattoo. Let me tell you what's wrong with the tattoo. And I give them the reason. Yep. I give them the reasons, gentlemen. Yep. So that's the thing about that, man. I can't stand tattoos on a woman. That right there is a deal breaker for me. But getting back to this simp thing, though, man. See, simp guys, they'll put up with it. Better to be by myself. I got some in-house, you know what, some poutine. Everything for the poutine. I mean, I remember they interviewed if y'all remember Barry White. Some of you guys, Barry White was a very popular singer. He had a deep voice back in the 70s and stuff. My old man used to play Barry White all the time, right? So with Barry White, he was a deep baritone crooner, and you may have heard of some of his famous songs, right? Um, my first, my last, my everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm playing your game, baby. Your game, baby. He had this big, deeper than my voice. I got a deep voice, but his voice is deep, deep baritone voice, right? And it was interviewing. He had an interview. I forgot who he was interviewing with, and he was saying that he said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you, women is a very powerful creature on the planet." He said, "How so?" He said, "If you look at it, even through history, even war, war was fought over by a woman. Even Troy, Helen of Troy and all that stuff. Well, remember the movie Troy? It was over a woman." He said, "That little pee hole is the most powerful thing in the universe. Men bled, men fight for it, and they die for it." And when he said that, man, I was like, damn. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, explains why we have what we call the simp culture today. That Barry White knew that back then, man. And guys today are destroying each other over what? That little pee hole in between their legs. That's what we're up against, gentlemen. I mean, it's the Jezebel spirit that dwells within. What is this, Incredible Hulk? Dun, 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 dun. No, but for real, seriously, this is what we're dealing with. It's the Jezebel spirit that dwells within. It really does when we start really thinking about it, right? This is why men right now, the Bible has warned us about our women, Jezebel and things like this, especially. And I remember that scripture, man, about her head hanging. I mean, her hair hanging down to the floor, or something like that. And one of these days I'm gonna have to read the scripture, man. I'm gonna have to do that because it was warning us about women, Jezebel, right? The Jezebel spirit in women. This is why men have fallen to women. When we really think about it, it happened in Adam's time, right? Eve didn't listen to Adam. She listened to Satan, which was the serpent. That's what she listened to, right? And ever since then, man, it's been a wrap ever since. We've been over here dealing with Jezebel, fighting Jezebel's spirit. You know, some of you guys got daughters and stuff like that. Like Chris Rock said, the one thing in a man's life is to make sure that my baby is not on the pole. We got to do as men to make sure my baby ain't on the pole. And it's true. You got to make sure that your baby ain't on that pole if you got daughters. Because there's a thing called the Jezebel spirit. And we already know how it goes. It's something about a woman, especially when she reaches a certain age, where she want to get freaky and hot. and want to do all the things, and other women are telling them, you ain't got to listen to men, you want to be free. This is one of the main reasons that I don't trust women, man. I don't trust women at all, what they say. I don't, man. I don't. It's like, I don't, because we never are really not supposed to be trusting in, supposed to trust in ourselves. If you're in a relationship, just enjoy it right now, man, while it lasts. Because we already know, and there's guys out here, you can never, ever, ever please and make a woman happy. You can't make her happy, man. It's literally impossible making a woman happy. Many men have tried, but it's impossible to make a woman happy. You're going to fall on the sword if you try to go out here and make that woman happy. They absolutely have it backwards. It's her job to make the man happy, not the other way around, gentlemen. The other way around. And like what Barry White said when he had that interview, he said, yeah, look at here. The most powerful thing in the universe is that little pee hole between her legs. And I know we already know what it is. Look at the simping now. Jezebel's spirit, as I said earlier. That's why, man, I mean, we got some of you have daughters. Now, depending on how old she is, and the friends too, it's the Jezebel spirit. Chris Rock said it once, I'm going to say it again. A man's job is to make sure he keeps his baby off the pole. Because when a woman get in trouble, the only thing she's going to resort to is 304, if you know what I mean, to better come up on some fast money. And every time women have gotten in trouble financially, this is their only way out, is to start hoeing. It's the truth. It's the truth. And we all know it's the truth. I just present to you gentlemen the truth, nothing more. They get into their whole phase, you know what I'm saying? Carousel, cock riding, and all the rest of this stuff in their early 20s, 18 and up, even younger than that, to keep it real. You know, I'm supposed to sit up here and believe. I don't trust women at all, and I don't believe in women at all either. I'm just keeping it real. This ain't about me hating on no woman or nothing. I just know the truth. And once you know the truth, it'll set you free. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship for now, just enjoy it for right now. Ain't no forever lasting in a relationship. You know what type of, you in the simp culture, you know that? Because it's a thin line now between you being a simp, doing all the things that you better make her happy. I don't live to make no woman happy. That ain't my job. Oh, you got to make a woman happy. Shit. You go insane trying to make a woman happy. There's guys out there, man. I know men that have set women up. She got a degree or so, put her in a beautiful house, paid all the bills, took care of this, took care of that, and then look what ended up happening. She goes out and excuse my French, F around on him, right? This is your simp reward for you being a simp. We've been told to treat a woman nice, respect. Are you getting that in return? Absolutely not. So somebody has lied to us, and that will be our parents, especially our mothers. They have lied to us, gentlemen. Oh, treat them right. For that one small percent of women that like or respect a good man that did all that stuff, many of them don't. They look at you as a simp. We're in a simp culture today. You do realize this, right? Thank God that some of y'all don't have over $100,000 a year, because you're gonna be in that broke, child support, alimony. It's against you. Do you realize that life in society is against men today? It ain't for men. It's against men today. Shit, this ain't no script. It is what it is, man. Jezebel spirit. I'm glad I don't have any children, let alone daughters. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what is the Western women, what are they learning from it? They're not learning to be, no, I'm going to be a nice girl. I'm going to go to church. No, it's the opposite. That's just a cover. They're out here today like never before. 304s, daughters too. aunties too, cousins too, mamas too, and all the rest of them. It's the truth. I present to you, gentlemen, the truth. Nothing more. This ain't me about being negative. We are in the 304 whole phase, and it's going to be here for a long time. Unfortunately, especially in the Western world, women have the upper hand, and they know it. You notice when you break up with a woman, she already in another relationship just like that. You got guys sniffing around in her panties, following her orbiters, all the rest of this stuff. They have a bunch of male friends. While you know, I mean, to live on pins and cushions like that. No, man, I ain't living. I ain't living on my knees for no woman. I would rather be by myself like I am right now, and I'm okay with it. I ain't died from no broken heart. That's been, man. I was a long time ago, right? But I see it for what it really is today. It's very vivid today. I can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I love that song, right? I can see all the obstacles in my way. It's true. I can see all the obstacles in my way, right? Ain't no pulling the wool over my eyes and BSing me on this type of stuff, man. I'm here to say that relationships today is bullshit, especially in the Western world. It's even worse. If you don't have leverage in a relationship, you don't have nothing, right? That's exactly what it is. You got to have leverage today in a relationship. If you don't have leverage as a man, your ass is hit. You're done. You're done. It ain't all this equal stuff. It ain't all this, I'm going to love you for Lou. You. No. Jezebel's spirit is real. The cheating and the amount of sausage that she's going to get, it's real out here, ladies and gentlemen. There ain't no faking, ain't no BSing about it. It is real, gentlemen. It's real. I don't believe nothing that a woman says. I would never put my faith in a woman, believing in a woman like that, because I'm going to tell you, Jezebel spirit, they're going to let you down. You know how difficult it is to find a virtuous woman? I'm not saying that they don't exist, but my friend Dwight have told me finding a virtuous woman is like putting, and this is in the black community that he told me, it's like taking 15 stacks of hay and putting a needle in there and say, go find the needle. Now that lets you know how the great difficulty it is trying to find that needle in a haystack. 15 stacks of hay trying to find a needle in there. It's basically literally impossible. That's what he was basically saying. And I had to look at it that way. And I said to myself, he does raise a very, very good point, because there's great difficulty today trying to find a virtuous woman. It speaks of her in the Bible, her giving of herself, putting the needs of others over her. What women that do that today? They lay up on their fucking fat ass, big ass, and don't put in the work. A virtuous woman gets up early before her husband and the children to make sure this and that is done. I haven't seen that in Western. How many women do you know that do that? Shit. Man, I got a bridge to sell you. It's the truth. How many virtuous women out there that gets up in the morning before the crack of dawn, before her husband even gets up, prepares lunch, get the children together, and all the rest of the stuff? How many of them do that? How many of them? Not many at all. And it's really sad, gentlemen, that we are in a time where trying to find a virtuous woman today is literally impossible. You cannot find them at all. Literally impossible to find a virtuous woman. It really is. I believe that you can find one overseas better. The percentages are better. I would be willing to bet the farm on that. If you find one here in America, young, vibrant, and all the rest of it, it's like hitting the lottery, man, really. If you can find a virtuous woman in the Western world today, you hit the lottery, my man. My friend, you hit the lottery, my brother. You really have. That is who you should be looking for, is a virtuous woman. And if you don't know what a virtuous, well, I said some of the attributes, and there's a lot more. It speaks of it in the Bible. I got the verse. It's in my notes. It's a virtuous woman is what you're looking for. But the difficulty of finding one like that is greater, is difficult. It's very, very difficult because we have the Jezebel spirit. God gave domain to rule the world, which is Satan. And he's been doing an excellent job ruling it too. Poorly, that is. And this is one of the reasons why Jezebel's spirit is at a high level. We can't seem to be able to have a woman to be able to meet the needs or be a helpmeet and meet the responsibilities when they know they can find another simp, the sugar baby thing and all the rest of that stuff, sugar daddy, sugar baby. You got to have money to date a sugar baby. Shit, if you think you'll get out here and get with a sugar baby, you think that's going to happen? Shit, good luck to you. See, that OnlyFans and sugar baby is kind of like, it goes hand in hand with each other. Now, not every woman can sugar baby. But if you're young, vibrant, she's not going to, on OnlyFans, she ain't got to share her womb with nobody. She can get the money. That's it. And play you, Jeff to the left like Jeff. That's what they're going to end up doing. Like that one dude, $500 just to be able to go on her page on YouTube and give her $500 for nothing. Not a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, let alone nothing. Yeah. So yeah, gentlemen, man, I'm just saying, you know what it really is? I'm just going to treat this video like more like this live stream like a video. Because I think I done said enough that I said right now in regards to this particular topic. And there's many more. I got a list. And like I said, having a ground rules list is what every man should have. They should have a ground rules list, right? You know? Well, like I said, when you have the leverage, gentlemen, you have to set the terms. You have to dictate the terms. Because if you don't, then all she's gonna dictate the terms. And you're gonna be inviting chaos into your life. I'm just saying though, you know, because right now I don't see men winning in this Western world. I see men losing, and they continuously are losing. Because anytime a woman can convince you that she can have a whole bunch of male friends, right? Having all these male friends and all that other ish, you done already lost. You don't believe in women and men can truly be friends with each other unless they're not attracted to one another. And that's rare. That's rare, gentlemen. I'm just saying, though, this used to be a very, very popular topic. Today, not so much because we have more simp culture today than ever before. And that's the reason why, because they've been taught. Some of these guys have been raised with no daddy, got a mama, and then she started giving him that old bullshit ass advice about treat her nice, treat her with respect. Where a lot of these women today are running over that, they eating that shit up. You know what I'm saying? They eating that shit up. You got to be an asshole, a jerk, and some just to be able to get into the door. Remember now, it's a Jezebel spirit. They only respect strength. They don't respect when you being nice to them and all this stuff, they don't respect that, man. That's weakness. That should be better. I didn't even know my Bluetooth even switched. I'm gonna have to unplug, guys. Give me a minute, guys. I know my audio probably was really, really shitty, man. I hate to go back and listen to my audio, but it looked like it switched to my car instead of my Bluetooth. But I should have turned it off earlier. Hopefully, y'all still heard me. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, man. Man, because, man, yeah, I'm gonna unplug this Bluetooth, man. Cause all I've been having is nothing but problems with it. Even when I tell it to switch, cause it's supposed to be on my earpiece, and then tell me why it switched from my earpiece back to my Bluetooth in the car, which I wasn't even trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Tell me why I was doing that. But yeah, though, ladies and gentlemen, man, it's a Jezebel spirit today. You got the simp culture and stuff where women are ruling, women are still controlling, especially in the Western world and things like that. So they don't respect weakness, they respect strength. And that's to a degree because look at all the professional athletes, look at a lot of men of means and things like that. They're not getting respect with women either. Look at me with Kevin Samuels and all them. They want to try to have their cake and eat it too. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you cannot win with Western-minded women. And I still stand down. I still stand 10 toes down on that. I'm one of the few guys that's gonna still keep it real like it. You know what I'm saying? We're not gaining nothing being with a Western-minded woman, being a simp especially. They think like being a simp is the answer. It's not the answer to a Jezebel spirit. It's not. Because at the end of the day, she's still a Jezebel. She's still a Jezebel, ladies and gentlemen. That's just what it is. You are dealing with a Jezebel spirit. She don't respect. She don't. She don't respect the man. She's busy trying to control the man or be the man. They walk around with this virtuous penis between their legs and shit. Some of them. Feminism is a tool of Satan. I believe it was created by Satan to tell these women and gas them up to say that they are bigger than life, that they can do everything a man can do, and all the rest of this kind of stuff. Oh, bow down to the great Gaia and all the rest of this type of nonsense. And that's just what it is. That's what it is. Now, for me, I ain't gonna kiss their ass. But like I said, I've been single for a long time. And one thing I learned about being single, I had a chance to really work on myself and to get the simp out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to go over and beyond for women in general, unless if she's a virtuous woman. Because I know what a virtuous woman is, and when I see one, that'll be the one that you want to go after. It's like I said, it's great difficulty trying to find a virtuous woman today. And I just say, for the most part of it, gentlemen, you got to get your passport, and you have to allow yourself the best chance of success wherever it is. If it's not going to be, it's like you looking for a particular car, and that car that you're looking for, you know what it look like. You're looking for dependability. Car don't have a lot of miles on it, if you know what I'm talking about. So this particular car, man, you don't want it to have framework and alignment issues and bald tires and all this other kind of stuff, bad shocks, right? Tie rod, suspension, bad engine. You don't want that type of stuff. You're going to be out here looking for, a woman is like looking for a car. A nice, dependable, comfortable vehicle that look good. And I don't have no problem equating a woman to a car because that's exactly what it is in a sense. I'm talking about examples. You know, you're not going to be willing to, take chances on buying something that you want. What's the point of getting a car if you can't get what you want? So, but yeah, but the simp culture, gentlemen, yeah, it's Yeah, this is something else, gentlemen, with this simp culture. But on my clothes, man, on my clothes, I'm just gonna tell you guys this: don't live on your hands and knees for a Jezebel spirit woman. I would rather see many of you on your standing on your feet than on your hands and your knees groveling, like you see a lot of these men today. And these are not even virtuous women. These are Jezebel spirit women. They're one step from being on the pole again, if you catch my drift. One step away from being on the pole. Because as soon as she get in trouble, after the divorce, we know most women ain't good with money either. Come on now. And you notice her only out is to get on the pole. If she's young enough still, she's going to find her way on that pole. That's what the Jezebel spirit is. Multiple relationships with men, it's the Jezebel spirit that dwells in a lot of them. That's why you should be living. That's why you should be living trying to please no woman. She don't respect that. She don't. You ain't got no virtuous woman, it's a wrap. You should know what type of woman that you have. If you don't know what a virtuous woman is, go read your Bible. I do got the scriptures somewhere. And all you got to do is just Google it. It'll pop up. And it gives a whole detail of what it is, what type of woman it is. I can name some of the stuff out of it. How she's giving of others. She extends her hand out to the needy. And she's giving of others before herself. She prepares herself and gets up early in the morning when everyone else is still sleeping. She understands these things, right? This is what a virtuous woman about. Do you know any woman that's like that? Hell no, I don't. I don't know any women like that, you know? A virtuous woman today? Shoot. It's like literally impossible today, man, trying to find one, especially in America. In the Western world, it was almost non-existent. What it say? The Simp has been extinct for a long time. Well, guess what? Not the Jezebel mind woman. She ain't extinct. She's right around here. The one that's extinct will be a virtuous woman, especially in America, unfortunately. Guys is trying to lay up, trying to please. It's not a man's job to make a woman happy. It's a woman's job to make a man happy. Go read your Bible. It's her job, right? I remember it said in the scripture too. I hate to have to get a little spiritual. I shouldn't have to say that, right? But let's just keep it real, right? When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, right? And that's a good thing for a man that finds a wife. But let's keep it real. There's not a lot of women, especially in the Western world, are wife material. They are not wife-minded today. They are Jezebels today. 304s and some. That's what a lot of these men are marrying. You should be able to find out. You should be able to tell the difference of what you have, man. Today is nothing but modern 304s today marrying. No dang gone way in the world I'm gonna marry a 304 Jezebel spirit ass woman. Just a step away from going on the pole. That ain't shit. That ain't no damn wife. I know what a wife looks like. That ain't no wife. We're looking for a virtuous woman, gentlemen. That's going to be the only way, wherever you go, that should be what you are looking for. Everything else is going to be a Jezebel. Jezebel. That's what they are today. They're modern day Jezebels today. Majority of them. I already know. You go to the nightclub, there's nothing but Jezebels up in there. You go to the college area, school, Jezebels, church, Jezebel, right? Workforce, Jezebel. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real. At least I'm willing to recognize some stuff. And I'm brave enough and strong enough to tell the truth. Because what do I get out of it sitting up here lying to you guys, telling you that, no, that ain't it. Oh, so-and-so. Oh, you just got to give her a chance. When you're surrounded in modern day Jezebel.
Modern day Jezebel, gentlemen. That's what we are. That's what we have today. No more, no less. Modern day Jezebels today, and it's getting worse. It ain't getting better. It's getting worse. So I know I've been talking for well over an hour. I'm about to go ahead on and shut this live down, but I appreciate the one like. And for some of you guys that hung in there, I appreciate you guys. Barbecue Roadkill, 1000 RR, and also Omega Man. I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, you guys came in and oh yeah, dropping deuces too. Shout out to dropping deuces, man. I remember you've been on here a few times before, you know. So yeah, man, it's all good though, man. Just dropping more knowledge and things like that, you know, and giving me in direction of what type of woman that you're looking for. You're looking for a virtuous woman. Google that. It's in the Bible too. It talks about what a virtuous woman is. Some of you guys don't even know what a virtuous woman is. When a guy say a good woman, good doesn't get to the point. When you say a virtuous woman, you're talking more attributes and more things when you're talking about a virtuous woman, man. That is what men are looking for today, man. Not just a good woman. Good only have a few attributes. You could be a good Jezebel. That don't really mean a whole lot to me. When you hear a man talking about, oh, she got to be a good woman, you could be a good Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know a Jezebel when you see one because she's going to be dressed up, short skirts, butt cheek, ass cheeks out, half tops on, crop tops, all this other stuff. Is that the type of woman that you want to date, let alone marry? Short skirts, ass cheeks out. That's not a virtuous woman. It's a difference. And that's why I've been saying, man, I've been talking for almost damn near 2 hours. Look at the Simps. The Simps ain't winning, the Simps are losing. They're so damn confused, they don't even know. They're just hoping that one of these Jezebel spirit ass women like them. That's how bad it is with the Simp. You know? We got a lot of Simp culture today, gentlemen. Look around. And you're lusting after, begging, and chasing after Jezebels. You're not chasing after no virtuous woman, because a virtuous woman gonna be far and few in between. We are in we are in a what we call a state of rebellion today right now, and the Jezebel woman make no mentions about it. The Jezebel woman is right there on the upper list. This is one of the main reasons. Have you guys noticed? We're not dating. We're not happy unless you try to beg to be with a Jezebel, which I'm not willing to do. Because a virtuous woman is very difficult to find. The other ones are married. Don't you get it? This ain't no joke out here. They lied to us, man. This ain't about looking for a nice woman. Stop saying nice woman. It's about a virtuous woman. You could be a good 304. You could be a good Jezebel. Good don't really mean a whole lot. You're looking for somebody that's a virtuous woman. You can't be a virtuous and be a Jezebel at the same time. See, good you can, but not being a Jezebel. You can't be a Jezebel and be good at the same time. Jezebel, I mean, you know what I'm saying? A virtuous woman don't walk around with tattoos. Thank you for the hearts, too. I appreciate it. Virtuous women don't walk around with tight short skirts, halter tops, tattoos, male friends up the wazoo, strong perfume, right? And other type of things, though. It's all in the scriptures, man. Remember, God gave Satan what? Dominion over the earth, right? He's been allowed to rule for a set amount of time. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that he's using the woman as his number one instrument. Satan loves the female. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Satan and the female is like It's like having peanut butter and jelly, right? Because with a woman, she's so emotional, right? You have society, right, that cater to her needs. He just rules he rules the world through a woman. Make no mistakes about it, right? Shit, that's exactly what it is. And the man, right? We've been under turmoil, heartache. I mean, look what's going on: alimony, child support, all this other shit. I'm telling you, man, there's something to this shit. There's something to this shit, man. This stuff ain't no joke, man, at all. That's why right now, for you guys, some of you guys that are single, this is really a blessing in disguise. God has some type of, I really believe that he's showing favor to his favorites instead of being in a relationship with a damn Jezebel that's being ruled through Satan. He's ruling through the woman. If you can't see that, then it ain't through a man, it's through a woman. The woman, the weaker vessel, the one that you would never expect, and that's who he's using. That's the tool, right? And the devil knows that by him controlling the woman, he can easily control the man. It's like the nightclub theory, right? You allow the women to go in there free, right? And then what happens? The men want to go to the club to get to the women, but they gotta pay, right? You know how you catch a mouse, right? Put some peanut butter on the trap, put some cheese or whatever it is. He gonna go for it, and that's how men are. We'll be willing to put ourselves in harm's way just for that. You know what? Just for the poutine. It's the truth. It's the truth. We are being ruled, ladies and gentlemen. We are being ruled by the Jezebel spirit that the devil is over her. The devil is the Jezebel woman's father. That's her daddy. I'm not talking about a virtual woman now. I'm talking about a Jezebel woman. The Jezebel woman is the father to the Jezebel woman is Satan. That's who she worships. That's who she bows down to. The one that says that I want to be free. No man should be able to tell me what I should be doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying though, for real, for real. This is exactly what it is, man. Thank you for the hearts, man. If you subscribe or whatever, I appreciate you as well too, man. I said I'm gonna start doing more videos like this other than the political stuff, because I kind of do two things though. Try to change it up a little bit. Can't always have all politics, even though they go well in hand with each other. And I just want you guys and brothers to know, man, what's going on. Omega, late, but here. I was doing something. Omega, I thought you were already on here, man, to be really honest. I thought you were already on here, man. But, man, I've been talking for almost 2 hours, man. I've been smoking. I've been smoking it, boy. I tell you. I've been smoking it, man. But give you a recap. Nope, just got here 3 minutes ago. Okay, let me give you a recap of what I've been talking about. So, and I appreciate the light too. The recap is that we're talking about the simp culture today, which is really the Jezebel culture, right? The modern day Jezebel today is out of control as ever. You know what I'm saying? The thing to look for, I even mentioned about the passport thing before. Another recap is what I said before. What has to happen is recognizing the knowing what a Jezebel woman is and knowing what a virtuous woman is. See, we already know the devil is ruling the Jezebel women, right? This is the one that giving us, most of us as men, grief today. Trying to make a woman happy that ain't what you want. It's the woman's job to make the man happy. Because a man don't have a whole lot of shit to make us happy. Other than commitment and honesty. Those are some of the things, right? Having a hot meal on the table, being sexed up, being left alone at a certain point, that ain't a whole lot of demand. I mean, for most men, they're simple like that. But the problem is that because of the Jezebel spirit today that dwells in within the women today, that dwells within, for there, for therefore she is the incredible Jezebel woman. What is it? The Incredible Hulk? Ah, man. You know what I'm saying? Omega says, chicken and the egg paradox. Waste of time trying to affirm which calls what? Uh, the solution is not to engage with it, right? You can't logically say simp cause prostitutes verse prostitute. Oh, what's that? OT verse vice versa. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. No, this ain't me trying to logic their mind down, man. This is kind of like validating more of what men must do. You know what I'm saying? But it started off, Omega, by me. I know I mentioned this already before. The one guy that was on this woman's YouTube page, he gave her $500. I know what you meant. It's a typo. Or yeah, yeah. But he gave her $500, right, for doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this is how bad it really is. You know. Now I've also mentioned there's some things that we could do as far as getting a passport, but the virtuous woman that still stands for real, man. It's knowing what a virtual woman is, and that should be, um, I guess you could say, the precursor or what it is that most men should be trying to aspire to get. You got to have some type of roadmap to what it is you're looking for, you know. Because other than that, because really, I don't tell these women I'm not their daddy. I'm not gonna get in there and tell them you got that tight skirt on. I can see your so and so. I ain't gonna do that. Because you know and I know it's pretty pointless at this point dealing with a Jezebel spirit woman. It's just gonna be very very pointless. But I still like to kind of bring it up for a food for thought. Because right now every guy should be on board and know what's going on. If you don't know to get your passport by now, too that so sad, too bad, so sad, you know. So that's what I've been mainly talking about, man, and other things though too, man. You know, yeah. But that's their daddy. Yep, Jezebel's daddy is Satan, man. That's their daddy. You know, so that's the thing about it, though, man. There is a difference, though, man. We are in a spiritual war between good and evil, man. Straight like that. That's the only way that my mind could be able to deal with these things, you know. Omega says the problem is people confuse the virtuous with the virtual. Interesting. The real problem is the um, communistic breakdown that designs the breakdown of the family unit for control. That is true too. And part of this is to separate. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. That's one of the other tools of Satan is separation. Because if he can get a man and a woman, a family to separate from each other, divide and conquer, plain and simple, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is, man. Yeah, I always enjoy your insight on some things. I can't see everything, you know. You know what I'm saying? I'm no God, but it's good to have um, input on these type of topics and stuff like this, man, too. You know. Like I said, I'm not sitting up here lonely, man. I talked about my old club days, Omega, and my dating things on the internet. I dated women, dated a lot of women, man. All of them didn't work out too well, you know. I remember I tried to date a girl from California. That didn't work out very well as well, too, you know. You know, it is what it is, though, you know. Hmm. Yeah, but I remember the days, 90s in the club, listening to Keith Sweat, way before they started saying begging Keith Sweat, you know. Yeah, man. That's why I say intro, shy, silk, all these groups, mint condition, you know what I'm saying? Jodeci, Guy, right? Next, New Edition, right? Got to back up a little bit. Yeah, New Edition. What's that song? You can count me out. You know you can count me out. Oh man. Oh man, Omega. Yeah, all those songs, man. Okay, the Antichrist, Karl Marx, and the Beast, communism. Anti-can also means replacement for the Marx wanted to implement heaven on earth, and said religion is the appetite, and said religion is the appetite of the message he wanted to replace. Yeah, man, I hear exactly what you oh, I think it said not appetite, epitaph. Yeah, epitaph. Sorry about that. Epitaph. Not appetite, epitaph. Appetite, epitaph. Yeah, I got you though, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that though, Omega. Yep, I love your vocabulary, man. You always keep me honest, man. Challenge for me, but it's all good. Epitaph. Is it epitaph? Epitate with it, like opium. Op- opitate. Ooh, boy, Omega, man, you hit me up, man. Boy, you make me look so, man. That's what's up, but I like it. I like it though. I like the challenge though. Okay. Opitate. Is this pronounced opitate? Like opium. Opitate. Boy, I thought I was on the ball saying something, man. Opitate. 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 I appreciate it. Boy, Omega, you should be a school teacher, boy. I tell you, man. Opitate. I'm gonna have to get like Malcolm and read that damn encyclopedia, man. In the dark till my eyes go bad, huh? Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, opiate. Boy, I tell you with these big words. Yeah, but yeah. Once I get it though, I'm gonna use another word though, man, cause I'm gonna have to opiate. So, what is the meaning of opiate though? I ain't gonna pretend like I even know what that means though. I'm gonna be honest with you, Omega. What does that mean? What is the meaning of the word opiate? I'm just an average. Me, I'm just some random average guy, man. So, I mean, I would look it up, but I don't want to interrupt the live stream. You could better tell me what it is. Okay. I was a teacher, I can tell. And I got out because the communists, I understand that, of the teacher union were focused on me to align with their bullshit, opiate, opioid. It was means a drug. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, I hear that though, Omega, man. I don't blame you, man. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. The key teachers union is corrupt from the floor up, man. It ain't nothing but another Ponzi's, not a Ponzi scam, but a slush fund as well, man. To push other types of, push all kind of social justice ass BS stuff, man. It's just a bunch of bullshit. The teachers union is one of the worst, man. For the longest time, they used those teachers union to push their agendas with these old low down, stupid ass Democrats, man. Omega says Marx was saying religion is a drug opiate, right, of this masses. Okay, the opiate of the masses, meaning drug in the masses. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Put them on open noise and all this other shit. Makes a lot of sense though, Omega. You gotta dumb them down. So what's the best way of dumbing them down? Through drugs. They always want to medicate somebody all the time, want to medicate somebody up. Yeah, but you're absolutely right, though, man. Yeah, I can see why you're not dealing with that. Probably why I would never want to be a teacher, man, because you're surrounded, man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Man, you raise a very very good point about that type of stuff. That so-called education system, man, garbage today, boy. Garbage. You know, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's the thing about it, though, man. You know, I appreciate you guys coming in on a live, though. I'm about to wind down right now, but yeah, we're just talking about the simp culture, and you're looking at a lot of these men, as I mentioned before. Man, it's bad now. That's the thing about it. But the good side, the positive side, is like I said before. You get your passport, you are countering the inevitable. You know, you're a countermeasure because with a passport means that you have options to be able to go elsewhere, and you can better find yourself a virtuous woman. They still exist. I'm not gonna say that here in America. That's going to be a challenge here because marriage is not looked up on in most Western minded women in the traditional sense anymore. It's more like a transfer of wealth today. So you look at it that see the way I look at marriage is called a transfer of wealth, because with the divorce it's going to be inevitable and things like that. So as soon as she says, I mean anybody that listens to Greg Adams, my brother Greg Adams, yeah man, he had it down to a science, and I do agree with him on a lot of things in regards to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because even the divorce court, marriage counseling, all that stuff is a joke and a scam, man. So this is one of the reasons. Once again, when you get your passport, join some of these rooms, gentlemen. Some of these rooms out here, they what's the one Rolling the Traveler? I think it's called Blue Book Cart, the Blue Book or Blue Passport Cartel, something like that. I belong to that group. It's actually on Facebook, and I encourage you brothers to go and join that page and stuff because they got other like Ronan on the Traveler and a few other guys that's on there. They already are living over there in South America and in these other places. Reaching out to those brothers, they'll put y'all on game, tell you where to go, finding the best hotels and vineyards and everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean villas, whatever. You want to check with those guys. Omega says their advocacy applies. Let me see. Applies as if it benefits men at the perceived expense of a woman. It is bad if it benefits women at the actual expense of the men, right? It is good. That is why simp culture is praised. Yeah, you definitely got that right, man. If it benefits the woman, which it is, and on the backs and the expenses of the man. That's exactly what it is. Thank you for the hearts too. Yeah, Mega Man. In fact, I'm gonna have to post that one, man. I gotta put that on the pin up. I'm starting to use my pin up messages more often now. So I got that pinned up because what Omega said right there, that just puts a nice nail. It just hit it right on the head, man. That's what we're dealing with today, ladies. I mean, gentlemen. Gentlemen, that's what we're dealing with today, right? That's exactly what it is. Yeah, so go and join some of these Facebook group pages, man. I mean group channels. I mean, because I belong to the one with Ronan and them over there, though. You know, these are a little older guys, and he's living over there. He got him a nice girlfriend over there, and you know what I'm saying. She cooked for him, take care of him. He's able to get a little bit more over there in Santo Domingo's than dealing over here in America. You know. You also got Richie Mack, Zoom to Thailand though. He put it down. He found him a nice Thai woman over there, and things. He got a lot of brothers, man. He helped a lot of brothers out going over there to Thailand and stuff. Pattaya. I got another friend that goes over there to Pattaya. He goes over there to the Soe 6, the Soe 5. He goes over there, Omega, to those to those islands over there, for rest and react and relaxation, if you know what I mean. So it's like, what's your pleasure, brothers? I know everybody ain't looking for a wife, but if you if you look into play, hey, I'm not the one to tell you what you should be doing, but that looks even better than dealing with nothing over here, you know. So yeah, man. You got some other brothers out there too that's been hitting the space. You got IP, was an international passport. I may not agree on everything some of these brothers are doing, but for the most part of it, we don't have to agree on everything. We can have respect for each other. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, he's also they're already there, um, already touched down, giving you the 411 and stuff. Omega travel. Omega, I think you've been to Japan and stuff. You know the Japanese culture very well. Omega says, I'm curious of the Facebook groups. A lot of them, they tend to be permissive of the sidebars. The real issue is perception groups are judged by vocal emotion arguments and military. I'm cautious. Yeah, I hear what you're saying though, man. I don't know Ronan the Traveler. I'm not really in that group a lot, but if it's some questions I may have, which is, I don't get into all of, yeah, what you been. I'm not. I'm just saying if it's like, okay, if I'm there, what would be the safest and the best place that I would need to go, if I want to, look for a place to stay. Because when you're in these other countries, you gotta find a place to stay. That's like your first thing you gotta do. If you can solidify and set something up solid for a place to stay, you know what I'm saying. So maybe they may have intel on that. I just use it like for information basis, as opposed to, the other things. You got Cartagena. My nephew been over there. Um, I done heard a lot of mixed things about it. You know what I'm saying? So, I already know, Omega, a lot of the brothers are being drugged over there, if you know what I'm talking about. If you're not careful, some of those women put that stuff, what they call it, the devil's breath. What is that stuff called in Spanish? you know? Omega says, for example, MGTOW, yeah, groups, um, yeah, devote into pseudo women hating. Yeah, that would be that red pill community stuff. I get it. And MGTOW are perceived as whiny beta male. Yeah, I agree with that in incels because some of their members tend to say pretty nasty things about women. That is true. And that's one thing you ain't never heard me single out a group of women on whatever went on that red pill stuff like that, because I do agree with you that a lot of them are incels. That's why I give a few stories of some of my things of the past that because I'm a Generation Xer. I don't know anything about this stuff that they're on like that. I've actually dated and stuff. I've been through the good times before it got into this until it got to the simp thing like that. So what I'm saying? Going to the clubs. I can relate to all that. I wasn't sitting at home on a Friday, Saturday night. you know what I'm saying? I was out there, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hear what you're saying, though. 304s and all this other kind of stuff. I get it. But you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, what I was doing because I was told from a friend of mine that was in the Marines and stuff. He just told me to go to Canada, man. He said go to these other countries if you can, man, and go get out of Detroit. Go to these other places where you will basically be able to see what I'm talking about. He said, I've been stationed in Japan. I've been to Korea. I've been in the Philippines and Thailand. He said actually, I think he said he didn't go. He said he actually went to Thailand. He's been in Thailand ever since he was 18. He never looked back. He goes every year now. You know, I gotta call that brother. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. Omega says, let's see, perceive mental as the weaker twin brother of feminism because they both do the same thing. All of my problems are because of the opposite sex. That is a stupid position to have. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, because that red pill stuff, we know the red pill community died. It's dead now. You don't really see too much of that no more. You saw it more so in the Kevin Samuels era, even before him. I mean, he came out of that group, and there was a lot of other people came out of that group too. I think Angry Man. There was a few other guys. I didn't follow those guys though, cause I came Johnny come late. I wasn't in those spaces and manosphere and all that other stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't rock in that. When I started hearing it, when Kevin Samuel started getting popular, that was like 2019, right around COVID. But those guys, they've been hitting it before COVID, if you remember. And I wasn't in those spaces like that. I've heard of them and the sisters and Badmouth and all the rest of that stuff. I've heard of that stuff, but when I started listening to Kevin Samuels, his thing came off a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I believe if he wouldn't have passed away, he would have been a passport bro today. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion of it. You know. But yeah, man, that's exactly what it is. So, but you're absolutely right though, Omega, about that stuff. You know, I still love women. This ain't a He-Man Woman Haters Club. At least my channel isn't. You know. Yeah, I just talked about some things that what the simps are doing as well as what the women doing. Because, like you said, it's a little bit of both going on. You know, it's a little bit of both. But yeah, those guys were on something else. But yeah, that movement died though. Pearly Things took that over. You know what I'm saying? Pearly Things been running with it. You know what I'm saying? I like Miss Pearly Things though. You know, oh Miss Pearly Things. You know, yeah. Miss Pearly Things, though she'll get it. I tell you that much. But at any event, yeah, man. So yeah, that's one thing about it. I do not discriminate. Yeah, oh Miss Pearly Things. You know, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but other than that though, man, I'm gonna go ahead on and get off this thing here though. Yeah, Mega, I'm glad you came on. Yeah, 1000 RR was on here earlier. I'm still haven't seen John Paddock, man. I haven't seen him. Is it Tim Paddock? One of the two. I ain't seen that guy, man. I still haven't seen Sherry either, man. Oh, Sherry, man. Sherry, lady. I haven't seen Sherry, man. Let me see. Omega says, women aren't the problem. The problem is narcissistic and egotistical personalities that have been fostered into the masses. The feelings of entitlement on both sides. I've been a fan of Kevin Samuels ever since 2014. Yeah, you've been rocking with him way before I have. I didn't find out about that brother until COVID. But I was always a big Tommy Sotomayor fan though too. I was rocking with Tommy Sotomayor way before Kevin Samuels. You know what I'm saying? So he was really like, I guess you could say if there's a real Godfather, yeah, he was like the guy for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I know he has this whole thing on black women and all that stuff. Omega says, I'm natural. Okay, I'm neutral of Pearl Davis. She has a few problems in her arguments and a bias that fails to see the full picture. Right. I am personally going to call you. Okay, okay, I got you sometime tomorrow, and we'll explain a few things. Yeah, I'm open for it. Because, like I said, I know who she is. I don't listen to her stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and neutral on Tommy Sotomayor. You got to be neutral on a lot of things. So you just can't just rock with everything. Though you got to be neutral on some stuff. You know. But I just look at a lot of it as entertainment first and foremost. You know, but I haven't listened to Tommy in a long time, and Pearl Davis haven't really been on my radar, even for entertainment. I mean, I got other stuff to watch and stuff. I've been listening to Pearl Davis since she started in 2019. Yeah, because all she did is just took the manosphere, a lot of talking points of Kevin Samuels, as we already know, regurgitated out just on a woman's flip. You know, some of the other sisters tried to do the same thing, but by her being a little bit more, she just put everything together, remixed it down, and yada yada yada. You know, hey, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, oh Miss Pearly things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Yeah, there's a few others out there though too. Um, there's a few guys out there. I don't. I've heard of these other guys. I don't follow them. You know what I'm saying? I know there's Angry Man out there. You know, with the beard, Angry Man. You know, and because right now the political thing. Before I go, that landscape is very popular. So it seems to me. What's his name? O'Shea Duke Jackson. You got some of these guys that have crossed over into the politics realm because they know it's hot button. It's a very controversial, clicks and views, yada yada yada. That's what I'm seeing though. You know what I'm seeing, Omega. I'm seeing that a whole lot though. You know, for some of these guys that have shift over into that MAGA world and stuff like that. You know. Um, Before I go, how do you feel about Candace Owens? What's your honest take on her? You know, I mean, we all can agree on certain things, but I hear what you're saying. It's best to be as neutral as you possibly can. Let me see. Omega says someone that you should look into is Jedediah. I have heard somebody mention him earlier. I'm not familiar. She gives a more what's that? Oh boy, more new. Not well, I'm trying to pronounce that word, man. I know it's late. Hold on. Gives a um, oh boy, conservative opinion. She even called out Pearl on a few things. I call out what's that? Billa on her simping for Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's true though too. You know. Yeah, Andrew Tate. That's another dude right there too. This real extreme man. Uh, what's with the sex pay? I mean, that's his business. But you know, I'm not. That's not my thing. On that over there in Romania with this thing going. But man, I mean, oh man, that's another whole thing, boy. When we talk about this stuff, man, yeah, I know what you're saying, man. We'll talk about this type of stuff. Yeah, man, this stuff is deep, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, it's something else. Okay, Candace, she's a grifter who sometimes get things right. Oh, I'm in agreement with you. She's a grifter. I was waiting to see where you were gonna go with it first, because I said if not, we'll have a conversation. Oh, she's definitely a grifter. What's his name? Ricky Manor called her out, and you know I rock with Ricky Manor on some stuff though too, and things. But yeah, Candace Owens is definitely a grifter. I agree with you. Yeah, sometimes she does get things right, but mostly you have here is in it for the money. She really is. I believe she's been bought, Just like Tucker Carlson, what's his name? David Packman. You know, I stay on David Packman, right? Um, I'm fair weather on her, but mostly roll her eye. Yeah, roll my eyes. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it though. This whole Israel thing that you were doing, when nobody never heard of her, Turning Point, Early Versions with Charlie Kirk and all this other kind of stuff. Really, to be honest with you, she started getting recognition off of Turning Point. That was her. That was way before Daily Wire, before she got fired on there. She couldn't keep her big mouth trap shut. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. You know, the, the oh man, don't get me started with her, man. Oh, don't get me started with Candace Owens, man. You know what I'm saying? When I first started knowing about Candace Owens, man, you know, because I always been a big fan of Thomas Sowell, man. You know, the OG for real, for real. He never deviated. All the books, I got a lot of his books in my library, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I got a lot of Thomas Sowell stuff, and that brother right there, man, very conservative. He wrote a lot of books. I'm a big fan of him, but yeah, the Candace Owens stuff, nah, she's a grifter. Was that Umar Johnson? I don't even call it doctor because even his thing, his doctor status is even questionable, man. You can never really get straight information about this dude. Yeah, Omega says Israel deranged and Palestine is derangement. Is two sides of the same coin. It's true. Now, Thomas Sowell is my go-to. I know that's right. He was his insight on many things because he was on both sides of the fence. It's true. Thomas Sowell is the truth, man. In regards to that, been a big fan of his work and things like that, man. Yeah, Thomas Sowell, man. How about Larry Elders? How you like Larry Elders? I like Larry Elders. I've listened to him. You know. But yeah, see somebody over here listening to Chameleon there. I be rolling dirty, trying to catch me rolling around because I'm trying to catch me driving around, trying to catch me driving dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty. Yeah, that's the song on right now. My music is so loud, you know. No, that ain't me though, man. That is not me. I ain't got to worry about rolling dirty, you know. Yeah, but yeah, man, that's the thing about it, man. These grifters, man. Omega says Larry Elders is okay. He was a few, what's that, um, psychopathic takes that I don't agree with, right? But should have, um, he should have taunted, uh, taunt, what's that? Taunt Gabbing Newsom. I got you for Gavin Newsom. I know what you're saying. Shouldn't have taunted. Yeah, but he is misunderstood. Yeah, he tried to run for governor, and yeah, he's over there in L.A. He tried to run for governor, man, and that didn't work out too well, and stuff like that. Yeah, California have always been a Democratic state, just like Hawaii, man. It's been a Democrat for a long, long time, man. You know. Yeah, but I totally get it, man. I mean, you know, I still like Larry Elders. I'm trying to think who else. What about Jesse Lee Peterson? What? Yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson. uh, Psychopath. Well, I guess you got these brothers beating. He is a little too fanatical of conservative views. A bit of a Republican yes man. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing about it. with black Republicans and white Republicans, even in MAGA, though it does seem, you know what I'm saying, that yeah, they don't really stand too much on their own either. Yeah, that's the thing about it, though. You just can't give too much on a particular party. Even though right now Trump is the logical uh, pick and choice for right now, though. But we ain't gonna say everybody in MAGA, and that's what Ricky Manor was actually alluding to as well too. He said he actually left the MAGA group because of there was some things going on in there. He wasn't a big fan of Charlie Kirk either. This is before he died. He gave his reasons as to why, but you know what I'm saying. Megan says Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm okay with him. I know, right? The problem is he goes a little too overboard on the issues. Uh, Taking it small doses, he is fine. Watching him frequently is what the moment. Yeah, that's true. I like Jesse Lee, and I look at a lot of it as I like the stuff where they get on there, they be acting like shocked as heck. You know, they done walked off the set. It's that's the best part, man. He gets some of these far left. I mean, the women too. Some of the zesty men, and they don't have an answer for it. They just walk off the set, man. I'm over here just cracking up, Omega, man. I'm like saying, man, oh man, it's the funniest thing ever, man. The funniest thing ever. But yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson, man, the fallen state, you know. He said, I always love when Jesse Lee say, you know, you gotta be. I'm gonna start saying that too, Omega. You gotta, you know, I'm black and slow, so you gotta tell. He said I'm black and slow, you know. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's so funny. Wouldn't that be? How you say it? That's a Jesse Lee boy. Jesse Lee boy, I'll be cracking up. Oh man. After this, I think I'm gonna go listen to Jesse Lee, man. Oh man. Every time I watch the Fallen State, man, I get a big old belly laugh, man. He cracks me up. Yep, Jesse Lee, man. I would love to go on Jesse Lee Peterson's show, man, because I don't know if I may keep a straight face, man. Yeah, man. He was like, what's so funny? Oh, man. I said, yeah, this is supposed to be the part where I'm supposed to be serious. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's funny, man. Woo. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, man, that's the thing, though, man. Yeah, we got a lot of grifters. What's that one dude, too, man, that I can't stand? What's his name? His name is uh, yeah, Marquette Burton. Oh my goodness, another grifter, Marquette Burton. Some of you guys probably follow him. You know, not my cup of tea, man, at all. Oh man, not my cup. I think Tracy Ross Ellis said the same thing, though. You know, and things like that. The narcissism for coming from that dude. Yeah, he's not my thing at all. Though I don't know if you may know who he is. The one that used to own the tech company, he sold it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that he talks to people, try to talk down to you. I'm better than you. You should have been established already. Yada yada yada. Yeah, Megan says, if I go on Jesse Lee Peterson, there will be an argument over mythologic, yeah, mythologically, rather than the subject. I don't even know who Burton is. Probably for a good reason. Yeah, you ain't missing nothing, man. No, you ain't missing. He's that bald head brother that yeah, oh man. Oh man. I'm gonna tell you though, Omega, it'll end up pissing you off, man. It would be best that yeah, for you not to know who that guy is, yeah, you ain't missing nothing. Yeah, yeah, a lot of grift and stuff, man. Uh the methodology. That's what I meant to say, man. Boy, I know it's like method of use, man. Right? I should know that one. Though. He knows a damn shame when I get tired now, boy. You gotta help me out, though, nigga. I'm black and slow. You know what I'm saying? How you think I named the show Some Random Guy? I'm just some old random guy here, man. A lot of times I'm just being random, man. You know what I'm saying? A public education, man, from the government that failed us. Another Democrat failed policy. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, you know? 50-50 if we were only here going to graduate. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say that I never was no A and B student. I was too busy out there trying to survive high school, junior high, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In the streets of Detroit where getting checked in was pretty common. Megan says, I agree with the conclusion, not his methods. Don't get me started with the government public education. I'm a failed, I'm a failed student. I'm a failed, yeah, of the public education. I know that's right. Yeah, and I say that to a lot of people though. You know, this is how bad it was, man. Because I mean, you know, it failed us purposely. We know it was nothing more than another slush fund scam anyway, though, you know, because the standardized testing, it was so bad. Shit, when we go into this, man, I'm trying not to go there, and I know we'll save it for some other time. But since I did mention about the standardized testing, the meat test, and the other bullshit ass tests, because the students were failing at an alarming rate, that in order for them to get their funding from the government, the kids in the inner city couldn't even read, let alone do simple math and things. And I remember taking those stupid ass tests and stuff, you know. But when you go, when I first started going to high school outside of Detroit, those tests was non-existent. We didn't know anything about them. Tell me why it was in the inner cities, but not in the white suburban neighborhoods, right? Because they were already up on the actual up to par when it come down to standard reading and writing and things like that. You know, Omega says grades are not a mark of intelligence; it's a mark of compliance. To I know that's right. To roll, okay. To know or to roll, okay. To rote knowledge. You can be an educated fool or an uneducated genius. Most who are granted grades as intelligence are the misinformed. Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that as well too. Because I already know the Detroit public education failed me and things like that. Because like I said, we didn't see what was coming, man. We didn't know. My mother didn't know. We were just in the inner city. But that was the problem, though. The ones that went to Cass Tech, if you were lucky to go to Cass Tech, I'm gonna tell you guys, Cass Tech was a school. You had to have a 3.0 grade point average, I do believe, to get in there. You had Renaissance. You had, and then don't mention about the private, like Catholic schools. You were able to live out and go to Brother Rice, Catholic Central, let me see, some of these other schools, Bishop Burgess, that was one of the ones in Detroit. There was quite a few Catholic schools. And we know with Catholic schools, they had a better education because they really, really cared about the students. It wasn't like how the Detroit, well, I went to school with overcrowding of students. Where we had about 35 students with one teacher. Oh, Megan, tell me what's wrong with that picture. 35 kids in one class, man. You know what I'm saying? And this was the norm. There's no way in the world that the kids are going to get the special education. I mean, you're getting the special hands-on is what I'm trying to say through the education. But Omega says, yep, the cat, the meat, and other standardized testings. I've aced those while being a C, B student. Myself, my elementary school had my test scores of a uh, tripta, triptafeta 100% as the record until they closed down. I went to Monica Primary School, Omega, when I was a kid. It was right there on Monica in the Lodge Freeway, right? There was a bridge that we used to cross over. They tore that bridge down, and that bridge we used to cross over to go to Monica Primary. Omega says Greenfield Park Elementary on Brush in Nevada until I reached the fifth grade. When I went to a private school, okay, yeah, cause that's okay. That's pretty okay. And yeah, man, I went to Monica Primary School up into the fifth grade. Sixth grade, we went over. Wait a minute, I think it was it up to the fifth. I think it was up to the sixth grade for us. No, wait a moment, it was up to the fifth grade. And then I went to Fitzgerald in the sixth grade, and then we went to the middle school, which was seventh grade, eighth grade, and ninth grade. And then high school, 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's how that went for me, anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, post middle school was one of the worst schools that I have ever encountered going to a middle school, man. Here I am coming out of elementary school, Omega, before I go, man. Man, I'm going to tell you, man, I was in the seventh grade. You had guys that was like in the ninth grade, eighth grade, ninth grade that was a little older. I remember, and when we had, because they had swimming class, there was like the swimming pool, and you remember those big old steel baskets that they had where you put your lock in? Tell me why they were taking those steel baskets and they were throwing those bad boys in the locker room, and had somebody would have got their ass hit upside the head with it would have seriously damaged or seriously. And I had to deal with stuff like that, you know. Talk about being checked in, meaning being robbed in school, because they would run those pockets and stuff like that, looking for some money. You got some money, filling on those pockets, pulling on those pockets, man. Yep, that was the stuff that we had to deal with. Omega says, let me see, I used to live on Golden Gate Street near Chrysler Freeway in 7 Mile. Went to Greenfield Park for third and fourth grade, and went to Michigan Institute for Children Development. Tuition is $5,000 a year. Wow, man. You were blessed to be able to get in there and do that, man. Yep. You were blessed to be able to get in and do that. That wasn't my reality, man. My brother had an opportunity to go to Cass Tech. There was one teacher that gave him a failing grade over some bullshit, man, and it caused him from going to Cass Tech. It brought his grade point average down below 3.0 because back then, to go to Cass Tech, you had to have at least about a 3.0 grade point average. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yeah, that was the thing about that, though, man. And he was very, very disappointed because a lot of his friends went to Cass Tech. That was like the school to go to, especially if you were smart. They had a lot of opportunities going to Cass Tech, just like you do with the private Catholic school. Now, close to my senior year, I went to school in Jackson, Michigan, right? So that's where I started. I didn't experience white people. Like it was like we made up not even half. They made up the majority of them because I went to an all predominantly black school. So you already know. So I knew the politics in an all black school. I had to learn the politics by being around whites and others. In fact, it didn't take me long because and I had a white friend when I was like in kindergarten like in the first grade in primary school and all that other stuff, you know. So even though I haven't been around a lot of whites until like high school, you know. Megan says my test scores was 100% on math, science, and reading. Although I was a BC student, my score were perfect on tests. Even the private school, right? Even when I went back to public school, that's really, really cool. Yeah, I was a year ahead of the public school students. Yeah, I heard about people being, advanced forward, man. I was too busy surviving, man. Post middle school, man. If you pull it up, man, it's one of the worst middle schools on the west side of Detroit, man. One of them. There was quite a few. We're fighting in survival, man. There was all kind of shit going on over there, man. When I was in the seventh grade, you know, I remember telling my mother, I said, I would have been a very, very good student had I wouldn't have had to survive the way I did. I said, I'm just being honest, because smart kids got their ass whooped in other things, man. So I said, I'd rather be the class clown, and that was the thing about it, though, because we had a lot of games. People wasn't just fighting one on one. You had to deal with games and other stuff. So that's why I was telling her, had to learn how to survive, you know, which I did for the most part of it. You know what I'm saying? Megan says, I was surviving too, even in a school of choice. Almost expelled for constant fights where I was hospitalized, people who assaulted me. I stood alone. Yes, stood alone. Yeah, I understand that though, man. I understood that, man. Yeah, I had to be funny, man, cause shit, man, I'm sorry that that happened to you, man. But yeah, I mean that goes into a lot of things though too, man. You know, was this around? These were around predominantly people that were black, or where you had that happen to you, or was that with other groups of people? Was all I know that all I remember growing up, and it was still like that when you had like I went to school like was mixed. It was like white and black when I went to high school. But the problem is that I didn't have problems with whites and other ethnic groups. I always seemed to have problems like with a lot of our own, man. That's where I started having problems with, believe it or not. That was the big, big issue right there that I had to deal with. I had to deal with that type of nonsense, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a lot. It was dealing with a lot of that crap, and that's the truth, man. I'm just being really, really real, man. Because like I said, I didn't have any problems with I had a lot of white friends that I was cool with. Some of them I went to school with, but I was really cool with. In fact, my first exposure to Japanese was when I was in my homeroom class. It was remember when they had the Japanese, they had the foreign exchange program back in those days? Well, at any event, one of the guys in my homeroom, he was from Japan, Toshi Matsumoto. I never forget him, man. He was cool too. He was over there teaching me Japanese, man, in my homeroom. Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Omega says, I was combative loner. I graduated in 1996 with a 3.1 grade point average. Right, that's cool. That's real good, actually. Coming out of Detroit, exactly. But 100% on the standard test, I found school boring and repetitive. Didn't really learn anything until the 11th grade. It's so true, man. It's so true, man. Some of those teachers didn't give a damn if you learned or not. They were just passing your ass, though. That's the truth, though, man. I did graduate. I did get my diploma. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't really saying a whole lot, because we know school really don't prepare you for life. Not really. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah, man. It's like some people that have the opportunities going to private school, where you're supposed to learn leadership and all this other kind of stuff. Boy Scouts. I always wanted to be a Boy Scout, Cub Scout, all that stuff. Um, that never happened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hmm yeah, because my mother was too concerned about us being molested. That's why that didn't happen. You know, I had an overprotective mother when I was growing up too. Man, gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, yeah, yeah, man, yeah, something else, man. But yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, man, yeah, yeah. My brother was really smart too in school, man. Very, very smart. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We both were had had we would have been able to be in more of a protective environment where you can concentrate on, you know, growth, leadership, and so forth. Mega says I was exposed to Japanese when I was introduced to judo at 12 years old. I didn't get okay. I didn't get good with it until I reached 15. When talking, when taking, not talking, but taking Ishiru, yeah, that's the. I remember that particular martial art. I got my black belt in Ishiru when I was 19. Yeah, that's good, man. That's excellent. Me and my brother, they had us taking Taekwondo when I was probably 12 years old and stuff like that. We did that for quite a few years and stuff like that. Me and my brother both made it to a red belt. Um, Got hated on up there. Could have been a black belt, but you know how that go and stuff like that. But yeah, man. Yep, I. Yep, I remember that. I remember that. That school, man. Yep. Was it that school on 7 Mile somewhere? Because I remember the art form name, the martial art name, Ishiru. I remember that one. You know what I'm saying? But I never. We went to Taekwondo. We went to the Korean one because they were real popular, right? Remember they were all over Detroit too, man. Taekwondo, Taekwondo. You know. Yep. Hmm. Yeah. Man, small world, I tell you, man. Yeah, yeah. Japanese. Yeah, I've been always impressed with your speaking capabilities, though. You do have the, yeah, you have it down. There's another brother you remind me of. His name is Phil, and Phil has an IT background. He speaks Japanese fluently. I talked with Phil a couple of times on what's the name's live chat, but yeah, he can speak the language fluently. Except for the only thing with Phil is that his ex-wife that was Japanese before she passed away because he was married to her. She taught him Japanese on the feminine side instead of the masculine side. I said to myself, if I ever were to learn Japanese, I wouldn't want to speak. I wouldn't want to do it like how he was taught. He was taught from his wife instead of being taught from a masculine side of men. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Megan says part of the one day promotion, right, was to learn the basic Okinawan or Japanese. I was ahead taking Japanese under my sensei, who forced me to only speak Japanese during class. Yeah, that's amazing, man. Yeah, man, that is amazing, man. It's so much. It prepared you so much. You was already a passport bro by the time you were 19, man. That you have a phonetic, you have a solidified knowledge in the Japanese culture way more than I do. You know what I'm saying? I only know some a little small things, only because I don't practice enough or study, which I want to take care of that though. You know, but it's very rare that I'm around many Japanese people. I don't have any Japanese friends, let alone for me learning the language. It would be pretty much of a dead language right now. I don't have no Japanese wife. I don't have no Japanese friends. Most of my friends are Chinese. So when I took private Mandarin lessons, only because I did that because I wanted to be able to converse with them, to be able to say some things, which I could say some things in Mandarin Chinese and stuff like that. But I don't have any Japanese friends like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was the reason why. Because we have way more. I see way more Chinese people over here in America more so, especially in the Detroit area, more so than Japanese. Japanese, as you know, is out there. They got a Japanese community out there in Novi, as you already know. But other than that, everything else is like Chinese or Vietnamese or Filipino. Yeah. So yeah, but it's all good though. Yeah, man. Like it's my time to shine, man. Yeah.
Good though, man. Just talking to y'all, man, or talking to you. 1000 RR and barbecue roadkill, earlier. So yeah, he was on, man. So yeah, it's been real cool, man. I always appreciate the conversation. Look forward to hollering at you tomorrow and stuff like that, and basically going from there. But yeah, man. Yeah, that Detroit educational system, man, is garbage. I tell everybody how I love telling the liberal Democrats how the government education failed us in the black community, though, man. Yeah, it's just Uber giving me crap. Here's another one. Well, Mega, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, man. It was good talking to you, my brother. I really enjoyed it, and everyone else too. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys now.